Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Today, we're getting into the topic of conspiracy theories, but before we get into that, I'd like to say, get ready for the up-and-coming documentary, Everyday People. Brought to you by VCM Films, Hustle House Studios. Got to give a shout out to High Frequency Performance Gear, Eaton Clothing Line, and it's on. Now we're into the conspiracy theories. One, especially since they upgraded, they downgraded the death total to 58. That's 13. Drop the 1, you have your 3. 489 wounded. That's 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. That's your 33. He shot from the 32nd floor, or your 32nd degree. He was in the corner room at the Mandalay Bay, and his name was Pad, which soaks up water, where he was docked in. And he shot from the corner room, which was your cornerstone. Illuminati conspiracy theory. Second conspiracy theory was that Stephen Paddock was given a drug called, I hope I'm saying it right, antidepressant called Zazafram, and that was given to him after being brainwashed by his girlfriend, Mary Lou, to help her in the cause with the radicals of the Philippines to carry out an act over here in America. And while he was on that drug, he reduced into a comatose-like state, and he was under her control, and he couldn't fight it off, and he was used to commit this horrific act. Third conspiracy theory is he was in his room, they entered his room, and we're talking about the would-be killers. They killed Stephen Paddock, and they committed the murder and left and escaped. And no one saw them leave, and he was just a patsy. I mean, they're rolling in theory after theory, because now his brother stated that he did it alone. He was a lone wolf. But people are looking at him and they're saying, no, there's no way that he could have done that. You know, it's impossible. They said that he did it because he had a gambling debt and he wanted to get back at the casinos. Another theory. So gambling, that's pirate's law. They link that to Skull and Bones. I mean, they're floating it around. Oh, another theory was, hey, too many people on the planet, population control, and HARP is sending hurricanes to America and the Caribbean, Mexico, earthquakes, to cull the population because there's too many people on the planet, and they're not producing enough food to take care of everyone that's on this planet. I mean, I heard them all. No one states that act of God. How do you know that with the way that we think as human beings is not in accord or in direct thinking with the Creator? So something's out of balance and out of whack, and Mother Nature comes to straighten things back up. And when I say our thinking is not in line with the Creator, universal God, meaning that man against man, man killing man, man hating man, man envious of man, because we as individuals or as human beings, we have electricity within our brains. We sending off signals whether we know it or not. And for those who don't believe that there is a higher being, or who have so much prejudice in their heart to believe that the Creator could be black, so they tune him out. So what? The fact still remains that your brain is made up of electricity, and that electricity sends off a signal coming off of your thoughts and your thinking, or your heart, that goes out into the universe. So what goes up must come back down. You sending off negative signals into the universe, you'll get something negative that's coming back. Now, let's say you had over 500 million people on the planet Earth who thinks bought into that negative thought that what they call Satan or whatever created or designed a certain way of thinking, and man bought into that thinking, then that signal is going up saying it's a count. Satan, or what they would call the devil, he has so many souls. By the collective negative thought of man, which resonates up into the universe, and it rains back down on man what man is putting out over and over again. And this is when I'm speaking on natural disasters. I'm speaking on the earthquakes, the hurricanes, sandstorms, mudslides, fires, or can we say has man forfeited its right to be here? Are we justice? Are we justifying our existence to be on this planet by our actions? Let's put it like that. It's something we got to think about and deal with. But the conspiracy theories dealing with this act of violence, murder, mayhem, chaos in Vegas is not the worst incident of its kind in America, as I stated before. You would have to go to 1921 Greenwood, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street killed thousands of black people who were living the American dream, created the first Wall Street, and was building, creating, actually enjoying life. Envy of man sat in and said that there is no way that you should be living better than a white man. So we got to kill this whole town out. We got to come up with any excuse to take you all out. And they started shooting, and government sent planes, and they murdered up a lot of people due to the fact that they put their brain power to work and created something good. But that something good that they created was something wrong to others. They didn't ask others for a dime to help them build what they were building. They went into their thoughts and their collective thoughts, pulled their resources together and built a nice community for themselves. But apparently somebody didn't like that. That was a time when racism was on the high as it is today. And they took him out. Google Black Wall Street. Read the whole story. It's so much that we don't have time to go into its in-depthness today, but check it out. Now, back to the Vegas shooting. The conspiracy theories. Another one was that there were more than one shooter. Some said that they saw something similar to flashes coming from a gun on the 4th floor. Others stated that there was someone in the crowd that was shooting as well. I mean, come on. I mean, what I'm saying is, I wasn't there, so I can't say what the people who were on the ground who actually went through that horrific ordeal. I can't say if they're telling the truth or not telling the truth, but I can say this about human nature. What I do know is whenever you put the camera in someone's face, trust me, they will make themselves the hero. Hey, they getting their 15 minutes of fame, some way, how or another. I had this superhuman strength, and I picked 2 people up and ran them to the hospital. Or, you're going to hear it, and okay, that's okay, because the camera's on you, so you're going to ham it up for the cam, in a sense. But those who were actually on the ground, you got to take into account of what they actually saw, because they was there. Some of the news reporters, some of the police officers, some probably wasn't there at the time, and then they gathering evidence from different people, and then they say, okay, this is this is that. But the facts are the numbers. Okay, we come with the numbers. If you say these are the numbers by count, we got to go along with your numbers. That's fine. But the people who went through the ordeal, and true, you can say that, well, when you go through some traumatic experience, your mind kind of is over hyped in a sense, and so sometimes you over exaggerate or whatever due to the adrenaline that's running. But when you have more than one saying the same thing, then you have evidence, you have witnesses, so okay, this is what it is. And so you do have people saying that it was more than one shooter that was actually there on the ground. They looking for motives. They said ISIS claimed responsibility. And some said, well, that just, even if they didn't do it, that's another notch on their belt. Then they were saying, okay, well, if so, how did Stephen Paddock become radicalized? And where did he make his money from? Said he was a millionaire. They said, well, he was an accountant, but he was a gambler, and maybe he gambled his way to millions. If he gambled his way to millions, then why would he go off and shoot up the people at the country and western concert to pay the casinos back, to get even with them? Okay, now the suicide note that hasn't been made public. See, because one thing you all have to realize, once the president stated that it's all fake news, that means that the taxpayers, i.e. the American people, they want to see proof, they want to see evidence, they want to look at what you got. And the reason being is because they have to feel safe and secure, so they can keep channeling their thoughts into a system that they know is for them, or else they're not going to waste their time. That's why it's very important to watch what you say, I guess, in a sense, especially when you especially when you're in a position of power, and what you say is resonating throughout millions. They're taking it in. It's settling into their psyche or to their conscious mind or subconscious mind. And then they act off of the information that's inputted. Then they move forward and act out that information in real time. So that's why they say watch what you think, say, and do. You know. Now, me personally, if I want the truth of situations and the breakdown and mathematics and information that I can trust, then that would be coming from Brother Farrakhan. I'll sit, listen, analyze. The mathematics is there, the science is there, and it is what it is. And you can't say that truth has a race. You dig what I'm saying? Meaning, truth was truth before man was created. Meaning, gravity was gravity. The triple darkness of space was still the triple darkness of space. You know, it's just that time, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, it's just that time hasn't moved forward, or the motion hasn't been set in play for time to begin, because motion creates time. But if you go back before the first motion was made, the truth was there was triple darkness, there was gravity, there was space. So truth is truth. Truth has no color, is the point I'm getting at. You know, so when truth is delivered, then you look for the mathematics in it. Does it add up? What's the science behind it? You know, has it been tested out and been proven so? Are there any witnesses to what was stated, or what was said, or what was actually stated for someone to have done? Is there a backup witness? Is there a co-signer? Can I get an amen? All the above. So, dealing with conspiracy theories, you know, you have to, well, no, not all the time it has to add up, but, you know, you do have to weigh it out to where it leans towards what's right. Let's put it like that. Conspiracy theories has to be weighed out. And wherever it leans, it has to lean towards the beneficial side of what's right. I mean, if you can get out of a conspiracy theory, if there's no hard facts, if you can get 85 to 90% proof, then yeah, we can roll with that. If your conspiracy theory comes up to 15, 25, 40% proof, then I wouldn't bet the house on it. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is. So let's do a quick recap. Let's see. 489, 21, plus 1 is 3. You have the 58, which was, they stated, that was killed. 12, 2 and 1 is 3. 32nd floor, 32nd degree. In the corner room, the cornerstone, at the Mandalay Bay, Stephen Paddock, pad soaks up water, dock is dock. He was at the dock of the bay, shooting down in the crowd. He was a gambler. Pirates law, skull and bones. That was one conspiracy theory. And he worked with the Illuminati. Okay. Same conspiracy theory was the girlfriend recruited him for a terrorist group out of the Philippines, had him on Zazafram, antidepressant drug, until he became sort of like an MK Ultra, and he did the bidding without actually knowing he was doing the bidding of shooting all the people. And as I stated, that was a horrific act, bro. Seriously. Okay, that didn't make sense, but it was done. Oh, another conspiracy theory is that he was Antifa, and he was going against what would be likely Trump supporters at a country and western rally, and he wanted to send off the message. Now, mind you, that's a scary conspiracy theory, and a lot of people will not want that to resonate. They gonna shut that one down quick. You know, they'd rather go with the narrative that he was radicalized. You know, because that's more, not saying more acceptable, but you know, that's more of something that you can wrap your finger around in this day and time, in this particular atmosphere that we're living in today. But the theory of that you got white people out there killing white people based upon behind Trump and Antifa and whatnot, they don't want to put that out there. But if you look at the series American Horror Story and people going crazy, Trump's presidents and folks are killing and, you know, all kind of madness going on, it's like, okay, you know, hey, what can you say? You know? But still, another conspiracy theory was that there was more than one shooter. That they saw flashes coming from the 4th floor. I mean, it's out there, you know. Which one you gonna, you know, it's like, okay, we're gonna spin the wheel, and which one of them is you're gonna land on to prove what's what, you know. Then especially when Hollywood gets involved and the entertainment community gets involved, man, trust me, it'll turn into a circus. But the fact still remains at the end of the day, 58 lives were lost, 489 were wounded, according to the latest report. From a horrific act, it shouldn't have been. You know, a lot of people lost a lot of loved ones, and anybody that got to deal with that and got to bury their loved ones, and those who would, you know, have to go through that emotional stress and hard times, and children without fathers and mothers and have to live and go through, that would be a stain on their life for, not till the next generation. That story will be told. So, you know, as a human being, you know, I wish all the families the best, because no one should have to go through that. As black people in America, as we suffer through racism and the stories that were passed down from generations of what they've been through and got the proofs and pictures to show it, man, how can a creature that stands upright and walk do such horrific acts to others out of their own sick mindset? Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.